This is Mamuni. Thank you so much for being Amar Baba.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to discuss how to make ledger posting of opening entry. And I am also going to prepare trial balance as well. So let's get started. Chalo, shuru kora jak. What is opening entry? I have already discussed in my video titled opening entry, but let me explain it one more time. An opening entry is the first entry. That is why it is known as an opening entry. Opening entry is referred to as the first entry that is recorded or which is brought from a previous accounting period to the new accounting period. Remember, in a going concern, the closing balance of previous accounting period becomes the opening balance for the beginning of the next accounting year. The opening balance is transferred to a new ledger books for a new accounting period. তার মানে কি আমাদের যে ক্লোজিং ব্যালেন্সগুলো থাকে, ক্লোজিং ব্যালেন্সেস অফ অ্যাসেটস অ্যান্ড লায়াবিলিটিস, all the assets and liabilities of a company, যেগুলো ক্লোজিং ব্যালেন্স, সেগুলো কি হবে? সেগুলো কি ফেলে দেবে? তা তো নয়, সেগুলো নেক্সট অ্যাকাউন্টিং পিরিয়ডে ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স হিসেবে রেকর্ড করা হয়। যে কোনো কোম্পানিতে লাস্ট ইয়ারের অ্যাকাউন্টিং পিরিয়ডে যেই ক্লোজিং ব্যালেন্সেস অফ অ্যাসেটস অ্যান্ড লায়াবিলিটিসগুলো থাকে সেগুলোকে নেক্সট ইয়ারের অ্যাকাউন্টিং পিরিয়ডে ওপেনিং এন্ট্রি হিসেবে দেখানো হয়। আন্ডারস্টুড? অলওয়েজ রিমেম্বার, in the first entry, all the assets are debited because assets always show debit balances. Similarly, all the liabilities and capital are credited. Why? Because they always show credit balances. Understood? What is opening entry? Every business firm starts its new books in the beginning of each year. Since the closing balances of last year have to be carried forward to the next year. এটাকে আমরা opening entry কেন বলছি? Opening entry is the first entry and that is why it is known as an opening entry. Understood? Let's see the problem. See, the opening balances of assets and liabilities are given here. Cash rupees 5,000, bank rupees 10,000, stock rupees 4,500, bills receivable rupees 5,500, Simran rupees 4,000, Varsha rupees 15,000, bills payable 6,000, Ravina rupees 12,000. Now see, cash asset, bank account is asset, stock asset, bills receivable asset. Now Simran asset or liabilities. See, in the bracket it's given CR. CR means credit. That means Simran is the creditor of Mamuni. Varsha in bracket dear. Dear means debit. So that means Varsha is the debtor of Mamuni. Bills payable, liability as we all know. Ravina dear. Dear means Ravina is the debtor of Mamuni. 12,000. And there are some transactions along with the opening balances. Let's go through it. Now see, transactions during the month were as follows. আমাদের অলরেডি ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্সেস অফ অ্যাসেটস অ্যান্ড লায়াবিলিটিস দেওয়া হয়েছে, তার সাথে অ্যাডেড আমাদের কিছু ট্রানজ্যাকশনসও দেওয়া হয়েছে। তো কি আছে? On 4th April, purchase goods from Simran on credit 7,000. On 8th April, receive cash from Ravina in full settlement 11,400. See, on 18th April, paid to Simran by check 8,000. On 22nd April, goods returned to Simran 1,000. On 24th April, cash paid to Simran in full settlement rupees 1,500. On 30th April, cash received from Varsha in full settlement 15,000. So how many transactions are there? Let's see. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 transactions are given along with the opening balances of assets and liabilities. Understood? First we have to prepare journal entries and then we have to post these journal entries into ledger. Let's do it. First we have to prepare journal entries and then we have to make ledger posting of opening entry. Or what we have to do? We have to record all the balances of assets on the debit side in the journal. Why on the debit side? I have already told you, because assets always show debit balances. And we also have to record all the balances of liabilities on the credit side. Why? Because liabilities always show credit balances. Understood? Now let's do it. See, cash 5,000. So cash is written on the debit side 5,000. Then see, bank 10,000. See, bank is written on the debit side 10,000. Then see, stock 4,500. Since stock is an asset, it's written on the debit side 4,500. Then see, bills receivable 5,500. Bills receivable is an asset, so since bills receivable is an asset, it's written on the debit side 5,500. Then see, Simran credit, it won't appear. It's a liability because Simran is a creditor. Varsha debit, that means Varsha is a debtor 15,000. So Varsha debtor 15,000. Bills payable 6,000. It's a liability. It won't appear on the debit side. Ravina debit. So Ravina is a debtor 12,000. We'll write on the, since Ravina is a debtor, we'll write on the debit side 12,000. Now let's see what are the liabilities. One is bills payable, another is Simran. So bills payable 6,000 should be written on the credit side since it's a liability, and Simran is a liability too. Since Simran is a creditor, she is a liability. Simran should be written on the credit side too. Bills payable 6,000, Simran 4,000 written on the credit side. Always remember, in the opening entry, all the assets are debited because assets always show debit balances. Similarly, all the liabilities are written on the credit side because liabilities always show credit balances. Understood? Now see, if we add up this total of assets, if we add up the total of assets, it will give us 52,000. 52,000. And if we add up these liabilities, it will give us 10,000. So what is the difference? The difference is 42,000. See, and the debit side total is 52,000 and credit side total is 10,000. আমাদের always মনে রাখতে হবে, debit side total should always be equal to credit side total. If this is 52,000, this should be 52,000 as well. কিন্তু এখানে আমাদের কত হচ্ছে 10,000. So আমাদের কি করতে হবে? ক্যাপিটাল আসবে to capital account. Capital account should be the balancing figure or BALFIG. Understood? So let's see the calculation of capital. Now see the calculation of capital. Let's see the accounting equation. Assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. Capital is a balancing figure. Assets total is, we know, 52,000 minus liabilities total is 10,000. See here. Assets total is 52,000. Liabilities total is 10,000. Only bills payable and Simran 6,000 plus 4,000 will give you 10,000. And the total of debit side is 52,000 assets. So assets minus liabilities will give you 42,000. So capital will be 42,000. See, 42,000. Assets, total of assets is 52,000. Total of assets 52,000. Liabilities is 10,000. So if you deduct 10,000 from 52,000, capital is 42,000. Understood? Liabilities side e jodi kono balancing figure hoy, that should be always capital. Please remember, if the balance of the capital account is not given in the question, it will be found out by deducting the total of liabilities from the total of assets. Understood? Got to apply? We got to apply the accounting equation. Understood? That is, we got to use the accounting equation. Calculation of capital. Assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. So, capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. You'll get the value of capital. Understood? On the other hand, if the total of liabilities exceeds the total of assets, always remember their difference will be treated as the amount of goodwill. For example, the total of liabilities is greater than the total of assets. Then the balancing figure on the debit side will be goodwill. Understood? যদি ক্রেডিট সাইডে টোটাল ডেবিট সাইডের টোটালের থেকে বেশি হয়, যদি ক্রেডিট সাইডের টোটাল ডেবিট সাইডের টোটালের থেকে বেশি হয়, তাহলে ডেবিট সাইডে একটা ব্যালেন্সিং ফিগার আসবে, সেটা কি হবে? দ্যাট শুড বি গুডউইল অ্যাকাউন্ট। যদি ডেবিট সাইডের টোটাল ইজ গ্রেটার দেন ক্রেডিট সাইডের টোটাল, then the difference will be treated as capital account. And if the credit side's total is greater than debit side's total, then the difference will be treated as goodwill account. তাহলে ব্যালেন্সিং ফিগারটা কি হবে? গুডউইল অ্যাকাউন্ট। আর সিন্স এই প্রবলেমে ডেবিট সাইডস টোটাল ইজ গ্রেটার দেন ক্রেডিট সাইডস টোটাল, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য রিজন দ্য ডিফারেন্স উইল বি ট্রিটেড অ্যাজ ক্যাপিটাল অ্যাকাউন্ট। আন্ডারস্টুড? সো দ্য ব্যালেন্সিং ফিগার ইজ 42,000. Understood? Now let's record the journal entries. On 4th April, purchase goods from Simran on credit. What are the two accounts? Please identify the two accounts. I've already told you how to identify. One will be purchases accounts and one will be Simran account, since goods are purchased on credit from Simran. But we won't write goods, so ignore goods. We'll let purchases account debit to Simran account 7,000. Let's see. See, on 4th April, purchases account debit to Simran account 7,000 being goods purchased from Simran on credit. Understood? On 4th April, what purchases account debit and Simran account credit? Because purchases account falls under real account as well as nominal account. According to real account, what comes in is debit. Mamuni is purchasing goods, goods are coming in. That is the reason purchases account is debit. Why Simran account credit? Because Simran falls under personal account. And according to personal account, Simran is the giver of goods. Alright, so Simran account should be credited. Karun Mamuni is purchasing goods on credit from Simran. So Simran is the giver of the benefit. Understood? Now let's go through the second transaction. On 8th April, received cash from Ravina in full settlement. How much? 11,400. Actually, Mamuni Ravina থেকে কত পাবে? Let's see. See, Mamuni should have got from Ravina 12,000. So why Ravina is paying 600 less? Simple. Mamuni is allowing her 600 discount. তো মামুনি ওকে 600 ডিসকাউন্ট দিচ্ছে। 600 কি করে পেলাম? 12,000 minus 11,400. That means মামুনি is allowing her 600 ডিসকাউন্ট। মামুনি রবিনাকে 600 ডিসকাউন্ট দিচ্ছে। তাহলে জার্নাল এন্ট্রিজ কি হবে অন 8th এপ্রিলে? একটা হবে ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট, another will be Ravina account, another will be discount allowed. How? Let's go through it to understand. See, on 8th April, cash account debit 11,400, discount allowed account debit 600, to Ravina account credit 12,000. Why cash account is debit? Because cash account falls under real account. According to real account, what comes in is debit. So when Ravina is paying cash, Mamuni is the receiver of cash. So cash comes in. So cash account should be debited. Why discount allowed account debit? Because discount allowed falls under nominal account. According to nominal account, all losses and expenses debit. When Mamuni is allowing discount to Ravina, it's a loss for the business. So discount allowed 600 is a loss for the business. So discount allowed account should be debited. 600 ki kore elo? Mamuni should have received 12,000 from Ravina, but Ravina has paid in full settlement 11,400. So 12,000 minus 11,400 will give you 600. So 600 is a discount, which is a loss for the business. Why Ravina account credit? Because Ravina falls under personal account. According to personal account, the giver of the benefit is credit. Ravina is the giver of cash. So Ravina should be credited. Understood? Let's go through the next transaction. See, on 18th April, paid Simran by check 8,000. So what are the two accounts? One is Simran account, another is check means bank. Check means bank. So one is Simran account, another is bank account, 8,000. Let's see. See, on 18th April, Simran account debit 8,000 to bank account, credit 8,000. Why Simran account debit? Because Simran account falls under personal account. According to personal account, the receiver of the benefit is debit. So when Mamuni is paying check to Simran, Simran is the receiver of check. So Simran account should be debited. Why bank account credit? Because bank falls in a personal account. According to personal account, the giver of the benefit is credit. The bank is the giver of the check. Banker কাছ থেকে টাকা চলে যাচ্ছে। যখনই মামুনি একটা চেক সিমরানকে দিচ্ছে, ব্যাংক থেকে 8,000 ডিডাক্ট হয়ে যাচ্ছে। So bank is the giver of money. So that is the reason bank account should be credited. Let's see the next transaction. See, on 22nd April, goods returned to Simran, 1,000. So what are the two accounts? Identify the two accounts. One will be Simran account, another will be purchases return. Let's see. See here. On 22nd April, Simran account debit 1,000 to purchases return account 1,000. Why Simran account debit? Because Mamuni is returning the goods amounting 1,000 to Simran. Simran falls under personal account. According to personal, the receiver of the benefit is debit. When Mamuni is returning goods amounting to 1,000, Simran is the receiver of goods. So Simran account should be debited. Why purchase returns account credit? Purchase returns account falls under real account as well as nominal account. According to real account, what goes out is credit. So when Mamuni is returning goods to Simran, goods got from the business. So purchases return account should be credited. According to nominal account, all incomes and gains are credit. When Mamuni is returning goods to Simran, expenses of the business are reduced. Understood? That is the reason it's a kind of gain for the business. So that is the reason purchases return account is credit. Because যখন তুমি গুডসটা সিমরানকে দিয়ে দিচ্ছ, ফেরত দিচ্ছ, তখন কি হচ্ছে? 1,000 is coming back into the business. So it's a gain for the business. So purchase return account should be credited according to nominal account also. Understood? Real account or credit hobe purchase return account, nominal account or purchase return account credit hobe. Understood? So on 24th April, cash paid to Simran in full settlement 1,500. So what are the two accounts? Actually here 3 accounts will appear. Cash account, Simran account and BCOM received account. Let's go through the journal, you'll understand. See, on 24th April, Simran account debit, to BCOM received account credit, to cash account credit. What is the transaction? The transaction is on 24th April, cash paid to Simran in full settlement 1,500. So, to cash account 1,500. Why cash account is credit? Because cash account falls under real account. According to real account, what goes out is credit. When cash is paid to Simran, cash goes out from the business. So, cash account should be credited. So, 1,500 Simran ke Mamuni diyeche. Actually, কত দেওয়ার কথা? Let's see. Actually, Simran ke দেওয়ার কথা 4,000. 4,000 plus সিমরানের থেকে পারচেজ করেছে মামুনি হাউ মাচ? প্রথমে ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স ছিল সিমরানের থেকে 4,000 দেওয়ার কথা, তারপরে আবার কত পারচেজ করেছে? লেটস গো থ্রু ইট। অন 4th April, purchase goods from Simran on credit 7,000. আবার পারচেজ করেছে 7,000. That means 4,000 plus 7,000, 11,000 goods সিমরানের থেকে ক্রেডিটে কিনেছে। On 4th April, Mamuni has purchased goods from Simran on credit 7,000. So previously 4,000 opening balance plus 7,000. That means add up this to 11,000 goods have been purchased from Simran. তারপরে কি হয়েছে? Paid to Simran on 18th April by check. 11,000 minus 8,000. So still 3,000 is left. Mamuni has to pay 3,000. See, on 22nd, goods return করা হয়েছে সিমরানকে 1,000. তাহলে 3,000 থেকে 1,000 চলে গেল। 11,000 থেকে 8,000 পেমেন্ট করা হয়ে গেছে। That means 3,000 is left. Mamuni has to pay 3,000. Goods return করা হয়েছে সিমরানকে 1,000. তো 3,000 এর মধ্যে 1,000 চলে গেল। তাহলে 2,000 is still left. So Mamuni has to pay Simran 2,000. But on 24th April, cash paid to Simran in full settlement 1,500. 2,000 কেন দিল না Mamuni? Why 500 less? That means Mamuni has received 500 as discount. Simran has allowed discount to Mamuni. Understood? Let's go through it. On 24th April, Mamuni has paid Simran in full settlement. How much? 1500. Why cash account credit? Because cash account falls under real account. According to real account, what goes up is credit. So here, when Mamuni is paying cash to Simran 1500, cash goes out from the business, so cash account should be credited. Why discount receive account is credit? Because discount received account falls under nominal account. According to nominal account, all incomes and gains are credit. Since Mamuni should have paid 2000, কি করে আমি বলছি, Mamuni should have paid 2000, but Mamuni has paid 1500. That means Simran has allowed Mamuni 500 discount. কি করে? 2000 minus 1500, that will give you 500. So Mamuni has received 500 as discount. So that is the reason discount received account is credit. Why Simran account debit? Because Simran falls under personal account. According to personal account, the receiver of the benefit is debit. So এখানে ব্যাপারটা বুঝতে হবে। ডিসকাউন্ট রিসিভ 500 হলো কি করে? আমাদের প্রবলেমে ডিসকাউন্ট রিসিভ এখন বলা নেই। So amount should be calculated by us. See, first opening balance কত ছিল? সিমরানকে Mamuni should have paid 4000. Again on 4th April, Mamuni has purchased goods from Simran on credit 7000. তাহলে 4000 and 7000 কত হচ্ছে? 11000. See, 4000 plus 7000, 11000 goods purchased from Simran on credit by Mamuni. So 11000. Mamuni 11000 payment করবে. But 8000 she has paid Simran by check. On 18th April, Mamuni has paid Simran by check 8000. So Mamuni has paid by check 8000. So 11000 থেকে 8000 minus করো. So deduct 8000 from 11000. So 11000 দেওয়ার কথা ছিল, she has paid 8000. So Mamuni 8000 payment করে দিলে তা Simran আর কত পাবে? 3000. Mamuni has returned goods amounting to 1000 to Simran. তাহলে 1000 goods এর দামও আর মামুনিকে দিতে হবে না। 4000 plus 7000 minus 8000 minus 1000 because goods has been returned by Mamuni. তাহলে 11000 সিমরান পেত। 4000 ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স ক্রেডিট গুডস কেনা হয়েছিল লাস্ট ইয়ারে, প্লাস এই বছর আবার 7000 কিনেছে। টোটাল 11000 গুডস হ্যাজ বিন পারচেজ ফ্রম সিমরান অন ক্রেডিট বাই মামুনি and she has paid 8000 by check to Simran and 1000 goods returned by Mamuni. So 11000 minus 9000 will give you 2000. So Mamuni should have paid Simran 2000, but Simran has allowed Mamuni 500 discount. That is the reason Mamuni has paid 1500. So 2000 minus 1500, Mamuni is receiving 500 as discount. Understood? So let's go through the last transaction. On 30th April, cash received from Varsha in full settlement 15,000. তো Varsha থেকে Mamuni কত পেত? Let's see. So Varsha থেকে Mamuni পেত 15,000. তো Varsha has paid the full amount 15,000. কোনো কম দেয়নি, তার Varsha আমাদের ফুল পেমেন্ট করেছে। তো ডিসকাউন্ট অ্যালাউডের কোনো এন্ট্রি আসবে না। তো so what are the two accounts? Cash received from Varsha. One will be cash account, another will be Varsha account. Let's do it. So Mamuni has received 15,000 from Varsha. So why cash account debit 15,000? Because cash account falls under real account. According to real account, what comes in is debit. So Mamuni is receiving rupees 15,000 from Varsha. So cash comes into the business. So cash account should be debited. Because what comes in is debit according to real account. Why Varsha account credit? Because Varsha falls under personal account. According to personal account, the giver of the benefit is credit. So Varsha is the giver of money, 15,000. So Varsha should be credited. Understood? Now let's make ledger posting of opening journal entry and additional entries. Okay? How many ledger accounts we have to prepare? See, cash account, bank account, stock account, bills receivable account, Ravina account, Varsha account, bills payable account, Simran account, capital account. So here 9 accounts. Debit side 6 and credit side 3. So total 9 accounts, and let's go through the other entries. Purchases account. Purchases Simran account already ওখানে আছে ক্রেডিটে, cash account already ডেবিটে আছে, discount allowed. One is discount. So purchases plus discount 2 plus Simran আছে, ব্যাংকও আছে, Simran to purchases return account. 3. So Simran discount received to cash account. Discount received account will also appear. That means 13 ledger accounts. On 30th April cash account to Varsha account. Kishi korte hobe na kano এগুলো সব ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স আছে তার মানে we have to prepare, that means we have to prepare 13 ledger accounts. So let's make ledger posting of opening entry. First আমরা কি প্রিপেয়ার করব, অলওয়েজ ক্যাশ। আই টোল্ড ইউ অলওয়েজ আমরা ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট প্রিপেয়ার করব বিকজ ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্টের ট্রানজাকশন সব থেকে বেশি হয়। সি হিয়ার ওপেনিং এন্ট্রি ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট 5000। তো অলওয়েজ আমরা অ্যাসেট যখনই হবে আমরা ডেবিট সাইডে লিখব টু ব্যালেন্স বিডি। ওয়াই ডেবিট সাইড? আই অলরেডি টোল্ড ইউ বিকজ অ্যাসেটস অলওয়েজ শো ডেবিট ব্যালেন্সেস। যত ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্সের অ্যাসেট আছে আমরা সব ডেবিট ব্যালেন্স লিখব। জাস্ট কপি। তো ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট টু ব্যালেন্স বিডি, টু ব্যালেন্স বিডি। What is the amount? See, 5000, date 1st April. So let's do it. How much? 5000. আমরা কি করব, সব লেজার অ্যাকাউন্টসের ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্সগুলো ফার্স্টে রেকর্ড করব। অলওয়েজ রিমেম্বার অ্যাসেটসের যে ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্সগুলো আছে সেগুলো আমরা অলওয়েজ উইল রাইট অন দ্য ডেবিট সাইড। অলওয়েজ রেকর্ড দ্য অ্যামাউন্ট অফ দ্য অ্যাসেটস অন দ্য debit side to balance BD. Why? Because assets always show debit balances. Understood? তারপর কি আছে? Bank account. So let's write. So bank account is also asset. So we'll write to balance BD. Opening balance এইভাবে লিখতে হয়। Assets এর যা opening balance আছে we'll have to write all the opening balances of assets on the debit side. Why? Because assets always show debit balances. 1st April date. What is the amount? 10,000. See, 10,000. 10,000. What is the next asset? Stock. 4,500. So let's do it. Stock is also an asset. So to balance BD. Debit side লিখবো আমরা। To balance will write on the debit side. Stock holo asset. How much? 4,500. 1st April. See, 4,500. Bills receivable is also an asset. What is the amount? 5,500. Let's write. To balance BD 5,000. Opening balance আমাদের কটা আছে? 6 assets or 3 liabilities. 6টা অ্যাসেটের ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স দেওয়া আছে আর 3টে লাইবিলিটিসের ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স দেওয়া আছে। টু ব্যালেন্স বিডি। অ্যাসেটসের ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স অলওয়েজ আমরা লিখবো ডেবিট সাইডে আর লাইবিলিটিসের ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স অলওয়েজ আমরা লিখবো ক্রেডিট সাইডে। আন্ডারস্টুড? বিকজ লাইবিলিটিস অলওয়েজ শো ক্রেডিট ব্যালেন্সেস and assets always show debit balances. So 1st April, how much? 5,500. See, 5,500. Now Simran is a credit balance. আমাদের তার আগে আরো অ্যাসেট আছে। Varsha is a debtor asset. Ravina is also an asset. So bills payable and Simran দুটো plus capital. তিনটে। So how many liabilities are left? Simran, bills payable and capital. আর দুটো assets আমাদের বাকি আছে। Let's do it. Varsha is an asset. She is a debtor. So 1st April to balance BD. Opening balance always to balance হবে। To balance BD. How much? 15,000. See, Varsha 15,000. Let's do Ravina. Last asset, Ravina account 12,000. See, 12,000. See, Ravina is an asset, debtor, debtor, Ravina debit 12,000. So let's write 1st April to balance BD. All the balances of the assets will be recorded on the debit side. Since assets show debit balances, all the balances of liabilities will be written on the credit side because liabilities show credit balances. Understood? The balances of assets will be written on the debit side since assets show debit balances. And the balances of liabilities will always be written on the credit side since liabilities show credit balances. Understood? So আমাদের assets ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স অফ অ্যাসেটস লেখা হয়ে গেছে। এবার আমাদের তিনটে লায়াবিলিটিসের ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স লিখতে হবে। লেটস রাইট। Simran 4,000. Since Simran is a liability, we'll write by balance BD. Credit side লিখতে হবে by balance BD. How much? 1st April. How much? 4,000. Next key. Bills payable 6,000. Bills payable is a liability by balance BD. How much? 6,000. আরেকটা ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স লেফট, সেটা কি? ক্যাপিটাল অ্যাকাউন্ট। লেটস ডু ইট। সো হোয়াট ইজ দ্য ওপেনিং ব্যালেন্স অফ ক্যাপিটাল? আমরা ক্যালকুলেট করেছিলাম। উই ডিড ফাইন্ড আউট 42,000. সো লেটস রাইট বাই ব্যালেন্স বিডি 42,000 1st April. Understood? Remember? Say 42,000. Capital 42,000. We did find out 42,000 opening balance. By balance BD 42,000. Now we have recorded all the opening balances of assets and liabilities, and now we'll record all the additional transactions. Now see, on 4th April purchases account debit to Simran account. Then we have to open purchases account. What is the position of purchases account? Since purchases account is on the debit side, Simran account will be also on the debit side in the purchases account. Amount is 7,000. Date is 4th April. Let's do it. So we'll write to Simran account. How much? 7,000. What is the date? 4th April. Understood? Now let's see the next transaction. Now see, on 8th April, cash account debit, discount allowed account debit to revenue account credit. So we'll prepare cash account first. What is the position of cash account? Cash account is on the debit side. So ulto dike kya ache? Revenue account. On the opposite side, revenue account. Since we are preparing cash account, we are going to look at the opposite side. So opposite side kya ache? Revenue account. Since cash account is on the debit side, we'll write revenue account. Since cash account is on the debit side, revenue account will also be on the debit side in the cash account. Don't write discount allowed because cash account and discount allowed both are on the debit side. We'll have to look at the credit side. Since cash account is on the debit side, we'll have to look at the credit side. Credit side ektai account ache, revenue account. Since cash account is on the debit side, revenue account will also be on the debit side in the cash account, and discount allowed account ignore. So we'll write to revenue account. How much? What is the amount of cash? 11,400. 11,400. Date is 8th April. Don't write 12,000 because we are not preparing revenue account. We are preparing cash account. Remember, we are not preparing revenue account. We are preparing cash account. Understood? Now let's see. Now let's see revenue account. Since revenue account, because আমাদের accounts হলো double entry system. Cash account করেছি তো revenue account টা করতে হবে. Now see, on 8th April, what is the position of discount allowed? Discount allowed account is on the debit side. Since discount allowed is on the debit side, remember we are preparing discount allowed account. Since discount allowed account is on the debit side, revenue account will be on the debit side as well in the discount allowed account. To revenue account, how much? 600, 8th April. And now again we have to prepare revenue account. Now we are preparing revenue account. See, revenue account is on the opposite side. There are two items. Cash account will be 11,400 and discount allowed account also. Discount allowed account also 600. Since we are preparing revenue account, since revenue account is on the credit side, debit side kya ache? Debit side e duto accounts ache, cash account and discount allowed account. So cash account will be on the credit side as well, and discount allowed account will be on the credit side as well in revenue account. Since we are preparing revenue account and since revenue account is on the credit side, opposite side cash account and discount allowed will also appear on the credit side in the revenue account. So by cash account 11,400, by discount allowed 600. Understood? Date is 8th April. Understood? Now let's see the next transaction. What is the next transaction? See, on 18th April, Simran account to bank. So let's do Simran account. Now what is the position of Simran account? Simran account is on the debit side. Since Simran account is on the debit side, bank will also appear on the debit side in the Simran account. So to bank account. How much? 8,000. Date April 18th. Understood? So now let's prepare bank account. What is the position of bank account? Bank account is on the credit side. So Simran account will appear on the credit side as well by Simran account. Account how much? Simran account 8,000. Date 18th April. We have finished ledger accounts of 4th April, 8th April and 18th April. We'll have to do 22nd April. Let's do 22nd April. Simran account. What is the position of Simran account? Since Simran account is on the debit side, we'll have to write purchases returned account on the debit side as well. 1,000. Since Simran account is on the debit side, we'll have to write purchases return account also on the debit side to purchases returns account 1,000. Okay. So how much? 1,000 and what is the date? April 22nd. We are preparing purchases return account. What is the position of purchases return account? Purchase return account on the credit side. Since purchases return account is on the credit side, Simran account will also appear on the credit side by Simran account. How much? 1,000. What is the date? April 22nd. So we have finished 22nd April also. Let's do the next transaction. See, on 24th April, Simran account is on the debit side. So opposite side kya hai? Discount received account, cash account. Since Simran account is on the debit side, credit side kya hai? Discount received account and cash account. Both will appear on the debit side. What is the date? April 24th. To discount received account 500. To cash account 1,500. So let's prepare discount received account and cash account record korte hobe. What is the position of discount received account? Since discount received account is on the credit side, Simran account will also appear on the credit side by Simran account. How much? This is the amount. Since we are preparing discount received account, we'll have to see the amount of discount received. So 500. What is the date? 24th. Now let's record cash also. Since 24th cash transaction ache cash to record korte hobe. What is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the credit side, Simran account will also appear on the credit side and the amount will be 1,500, not 2,000. Since we are preparing cash account, we are not preparing now Simran account. So by what will be the amount? The amount will be 1,500 since we are preparing cash account. We are recording the transaction of cash, not Simran. So by Simran account, how much? 1,500. We have recorded Simran. We have recorded discount received account also. We have recorded cash account also. Let's see the last transaction. See, on 30th April, cash account to Varsha account. So this is the last transaction. What is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the debit side, Varsha account will be on the debit side as well 15,000. Amount is 15,000. Date is 30th April. Let's do it. Varsha account. 15,000. Date is 30th April. Now let's prepare Varsha account. Varsha account. Since, see, Varsha account is on the credit side. See, Varsha account is on the credit side. Since Varsha account is on the credit side, cash will also appear on the credit side. Amount is 15,000. Date is 30th April. By cash account. Amount is 15,000. Date is 30th April. So let's write by cash account 15,000. 30th April. So we have posted opening entry and additional journal entries in the ledger accounts. Now we have to close all 13 ledger accounts. Let's do it starting with cash account. So let's close the cash account because we posted all the journal entries including opening entry. See which side is greater? Obviously debit side's total is greater. So how much is the debit side's total? Debit side's total is 31,400. So I have told you if debit side's total is greater than credit side total, then we'll have to write the debit side's total on both sides. 31,400. So shortfall kotha hai? Shortfall is on which side? Credit side. So we'll have to write by balance CD on the credit side. What is the amount? So we'll have to write something on the credit side to balance this total 31,400. So we'll have to write something to balance because এখানে 31,400 আছে but credit side only 1,500 আছে. So we'll have to get the balancing figure. So if you deduct 1,500 is on the credit side. If you deduct 1,500 from the debit side's total, you'll get 29,900. And what is the date? Last day in the month of April. So 30th April. So this by balance CD will appear on the opposite side of debits total to balance BD. Because Mamuni has not shut down the business. She will continue the business. This amount 29,900. Understood? What is the day? The very next day, 1st May. So we have closed cash account. Is cash account a debit balance or a credit balance? Cash account is a debit balance because debit side's total is greater than credit side total and moreover to balance BD is written beneath the debit total. Understood? 29,900. Let's do the next account. What is the next? Let's close the next account. What is the next account? Bank account. See bank account. So bank account, which side is greater? See, debit side is greater than, debit side total is greater than credit side total. So 10,000 is on, so debit side total is 10,000. We'll write on both sides. So which coincided shortfall? Coincided shortfall? Credit side. So we'll write by balance. By balance CD, how much? Deduct 8,000 from 10,000. You'll get 2,000. So 30th April, last day in the month of April. So this by balance CD will be, so by balance CD will be written on the opposite side, will be brought down beneath the total of debit side. So 2,000. Date will be the very next day, 1st May. So is bank account as debit balance or a credit balance? Bank account is a debit balance since debit side total is greater than credit side total and moreover to balance BD is written beneath the debit total 2,000. Understood? Now let's close the next account. Next account is stock account. See, debit side total is greater than credit side total since nothing has been written here, 0. So we'll write 4,500 on both sides. So shortfall kotha hai? Obviously on the credit side. So we'll write by balance CD. By balance CD, how much? By balance CD is 4,500 minus 0 will give you 4,500. What is the date? Last day in the month of April. To balance BD. To balance BD. How much? This amount. What is the date? The very next day. So, is stock account a debit balance or a credit balance? Stock account is a debit balance. Why? Because debit side total is greater than credit side total. And moreover, to balance BD is written beneath the debit total, 4,500. Understood? So, let's close the next account. The next account is bills receivable. Which side is greater? Obviously debit side. Since credit side kichu lekha nahi 0, that means 5,500 minus 0 will give you 5,500. Shortfall kothay? Obviously on the credit side, we'll write by balance CD. By balance CD. So 5,500. Which side is greater? 5,500. So we'll write debit side total on both sides. And shortfall is on the credit side. So we'll write by balance CD. On the credit side, amount will be 5,500. How we are getting 5,500? 5,500 minus 0 will give you 5,500. The date is 30th April. And this by balance CD will be brought down on the opposite side to balance BD. How much? The same amount, 5,500. Date will be the very next day, May 1st. Understood? Now tell me, bills receivable account is a debit balance or a credit balance? Bills receivable account is a debit balance since debit set total is greater than credit set total, and moreover, to balance BD is written beneath the debit total, 5,500. Understood? Let's close the next account. See, revenue account. Which side is greater? See, both are same. On the debit side, 12,000. On the credit side, 11,400 plus 600. Add up these two, 11,400 plus 600 will give you 12,000. So on the debit side, 12,000. On the credit side also 12,000. So no balance. We don't have to write to balance CD or by balance CD. Since debit side total is 12,000, credit side total is also 12,000. So there is no balance. Both are equal. Debit side total is equal to credit side total. Both are equal. Understood? So let's close the next account. The next account is Varsha account. Which side is greater? See, debit side total is 15,000, credit side total is 15,000 as well. So, debit side total is equal to credit side total. So, we'll have to write on the debit side 15,000. And on the credit side also we'll have to write 15,000. Which side is greater? Both are equal. Debit side 15,000, credit side 15,000. So debit side total is equal to credit side total. So to balance CD लिखते होगे ना, by balance CD लिखते होगे ना. Understood? Both are equal. Now let's close the next account. Bills payable account. See, which side is greater? Obviously credit side 6,000. So we'll write credit. আমরা জানি যে সাইডে টোটাল বড় হবে সেই সাইডে টোটালটা আমরা both sides এ লিখব. So we'll write 6,000 on both sides. Shortfall কোথায়? Debit side. So we'll write to balance CD. To balance CD, how much? 0. Nothing has been written means 0. Nothing has been written on the debit side means 0. So 6,000 minus 0 will give you 6,000. Date is 30th April, in the last day in the month of April. And this to balance CD will be brought down on the opposite side by balance BD. This amount 6,000. The date will be 1st May. Understood? Now let's close the next account. So next account is Simran account. See, the credit side total is 4,000 plus 7,000, 11,000. What is the total of debit side? 8,000 plus 1,000 plus 500 plus 1,500. This is also 11,000. Debit side total 11,000, credit side total also 11,000. So debit side total is equal to credit side total. So there is no balance. To balance CD বা by balance CD আমাদের লিখতে হবে না, কোনো ব্যালেন্সিং করতে হবে না. Understood? So let's close the next account. Capital account. Which side is greater? Obviously credit side is greater than debit side. So we'll write the credit side total on both sides. কোন সাইডে shortfall? Lesser amount কোথায়? Debit side. So we'll write to balance CD 42,000. What is the date? Last day in the month of April, 30th April. This to balance CD will be brought down on the opposite side by balance BD. 42,000. Date the very next day, 1st May. Capital account is a debit balance or a credit balance? Capital account is a credit balance. Why? Because credit side total is greater than debit side's total, and moreover by balance BD is written being the credit total 42,000. Understood? Now let's close the next account. See, purchases account. Which side is greater? Obviously debit side. Nothing has been written on the credit side means 0. So we'll write 7,000 on both sides. Shortfall কোথায়? Credit side. Lesser amount কোথায় আছে বা shortfall বা কিছু নেই? Credit side. So we'll balance by balance CD. How much? Since nothing has been written on the credit side means 0. So 7,000 minus 0 means 7,000. Last day in the month of April. So this to balance CD will appear on the debit side. To balance BD. 7,000. This amount. Date will be the next day, 1st May. So let's close the next account. Discount allowed account. Which side is greater? Obviously debit side. Nothing has been written on the credit side means 0. So 600. We'll write 600 on both sides. Shortfall কোথায়? Credit side. So we'll write by balance CD. By balance CD. How much? 600. Date 30th April. Last day in the month of April. This by balance CD will appear on the debit side. On the opposite side, to balance BD. So how much? 600. The date next day. What is the date? The next day, 1st May. Now discount allowed account is a debit balance or credit balance. Discount allowed is a debit balance since debit set total is greater than credit set total. Moreover, to balance BD is written beneath the debit total 600. Purchases account. I forgot to tell you. Now tell me, purchases account is a debit balance or credit balance? Purchases account is a debit balance since debit set total is greater than credit set's total, and moreover to balance BD is written beneath the debit total 7,000. Understood? Now let's close the next account. The next account is purchases return account. Which side is greater? Obviously credit side. So we'll write 1,000 on both sides. See? So 1,000 on both sides. So, to balance, कौन side है shortfall? Credit side है. To balance, CD. Nothing has been written on the debit side means 0. So, 1,000 minus 0 will give you 1,000. So, April. So, 30th April. And this to balance CD will appear on the debit side by balance BD. 1,000. Same amount. This amount. Date the very next day, 1st May. Now tell me, is purchases return account a debit balance or a credit balance? Purchases return account is a credit balance since credit set total is greater than debit set's total, and moreover by balance BD is written beneath the credit total. Understood? Now let's close the last account. What is the last account? Discount receive account. Now which side is greater? Obviously credit side. So we'll write credit set's total on both sides. Where is the shortfall? On the debit side. So we'll write to balance CD. To balance CD. How much? Since nothing has been written on the debit side, 0. So 500 minus 0 will give you 500. Last day in the month of April. And this to balance CD will appear on the credit side. By balance BD 500. Same amount. The date will be the very next day, 1st May. So we have closed all the ledger accounts. How many ledger accounts? 13 ledger accounts we have closed. Now we'll prepare trial balance with the help of 13 ledger account balances. Now let's prepare trial balance. I've already told you what is trial balance. Trial balance is a statement. Trial balance is not an account, and that is the reason we don't write debit on the left hand side or credit on the right hand side, because trial balance is not an account, it's a statement, and debit side's column should always be equal to credit side's column. Understood? Trial balance is always prepared. Why? Because to check the arithmetical accuracy of ledger accounts. Understood? So now let's see the first account, cash account. So Cash account is a debit balance 29,900. Let's write. So cash account. Since cash account is a debit balance, we'll write the amount in the debit column. 29,900. Understood? So now let's see the next account. Next account is bank account. What is the balance? Bank account is a debit balance also, 2,000. Let's write. Since bank account is a debit balance, we'll write 2,000 in the debit column. So let's see the next account. See, stock account. Stock account is also debit balance because it's written beneath the debit total, 4,500. Let's write stock account 4,500. Since stock account is a debit balance, we are writing 4,500 in the debit column. Understood? Clear? Let's see the next account. The next account is bills receivable account. See, bills receivable account is also a debit balance, 5,500. Since it's written beneath the debit total, let's write. So bills receivable account is a debit balance also. $5,500. Bills receivable account is a debit balance. We're writing the amount in the debit column. Understood? Let's see the next account. See Varsha account. Varsha account shows no balance. Varsha account shows no balance. Since Varsha's debit and credit totals are equal, Varsha account will not appear in the trial balance. Understood? I've already told you. Let's see the next account. Ravina account. See, Ravina account shows no balance also. So, Ravina account will not appear in the trial balance. Understood? Ravina account will also not appear in the trial balance because Ravina's debit sets total is equal to credit set total and Ravina account shows no balance. So, Ravina account will not appear in trial balance. So, let's see the next account. Bills payable account. Bills payable account is a credit balance. Why? Because by balance BD is written beneath the credit total 6,000. Let's write. Since bills payable account is a credit balance, we'll write the amount 6,000 in the credit column. Understood? Understood? Now let's see the next account. Simran account. See, Simran's debit set total is 11,000, credit set total is 11,000. So Simran account shows no balance. Since Simran's debit set total is equal to credit set total, there is no balance. So Simran account will not appear in trial balance. Understood? Let's see the next account. The next account is capital account. Capital account is a credit balance. Since by balance BD 42,000 is written beneath the credit total. Let's write. Since capital account is a credit balance, we'll write the amount 42,000 in the credit column. Understood? So let's see the next account. Purchases account. Purchases account is a debit balance since 7,000 is written beneath the debit total. So let's write. So purchases account. Since purchases account is a debit balance, we'll write 7,000 in the debit column. 7,000. So let's see the next account. The next account is discount allowed account. Discount allowed is a debit balance 600. Since to balance BD is written beneath the debit total, discount allowed is a debit balance. Let's write. Discount allowed account is a debit balance. So we'll write 600 in the debit column. Let's see the next account. The next account is purchases return account. By balance BD is written beneath the credit total. So purchases return account is a credit balance. Let's write. Purchases return account. How much? Purchases return account. Purchases return. Since purchases return account is a credit balance, we'll write the amount in the credit column 1,000. So let's see the last account. The last account is discount received account. Discount received account is a credit balance. Since by balance BD is written beneath the credit total, 500 will appear in the credit column. Let's write. Since discount received account is a credit balance, we'll write the amount 500 in the credit column. So what is the total? We have written all the accounts. So what is the total of debit column? 49,500. What is the total of credit column? 49,500. So debits column is equal to credit column. So debits column is equal to credits column. So trial balance did tally. Understood? If the total of the debit column equals to that of its credit column, it is proved that ledger accounts are arithmetically correct and there are no errors in the ledger posting and balancing the ledger accounts. তার মানে আমাদের ledger posting এ কোনো ভুল হয়নি and balancing এও কোনো ভুল হয়নি. Understood? So trial balance has been prepared. This is trial balance. So what we did today? We have prepared journal entries of opening entry and additional entries and ledger posting of opening entry and additional entries, and we have prepared trial balance as well. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your precious time. I sincerely hope this was helpful. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Till then, keep practicing ledger posting of opening entry. Bye-bye. Take care.